Hi, this is Chanda Varma, and today I'm going to talk about one of the biggest myths I grew up with when it came to money matters, as would be the case with a lot of you, and that is financial planning means investing after the CA has taken care of my taxes. Buying gold, mutual funds, blue chip stocks, insurance policies, properties, land. For most of us, having different types of these investments means I've done my bit. I've planned, isn't it? Nothing wrong in that. I thought similarly. But I learned the difference between planning and having a bouquet of investment products only after I started working in financial services industry. If I ask you a question, planning किया क्या? You'll say, हाँ, मैंने काफ़ी investments किए हैं. मेरे dad मुझे help करते हैं. I have my friend, uncle who's a CA, MBA finance. I have a banker, etc. I've heard this more than 1,000 times even from my friends and family. And when I ask, अच्छा, investments का written plan किधर है? I get a blank look. Now let's say you're one of the top executives in a company or you have your own business. Don't you have a daily plan of action, a yearly plan, a 3-year growth plan for yourself? Does your company just let you work without a plan and do random activities during the day? Every one of us earns, all of us save, and all of us invest. That's okay, that's not the point. I have met so many people with portfolios of 5 crore, 20 crore, 50 crore. They are CAs, doctors, CFOs, small business owners. All of them know how to manage money, invest. They have enough knowledge. But so many of them said, I have investments, but I don't have a plan. Plan of how this money will grow for next 20 years or last me for next 30 years for myself. What is enough for me? All of us know we need an exercise plan and we need to follow a balanced diet for our health. How many of us are able to do it consistently with discipline and track our progress? How many of us understand what is it that our body needs, what kind of exercise, what kind of diet? I have a very dear friend, close to 45 years of age. He was on diabetic meds and BP meds for 2 years. Not that he was fat or looked unhealthy or had bad eating habits. A very active fellow. He started following a plan of diet and exercise, monitored by specialists, eating the same things he would earlier with some alterations, defined proportions suitable for him, alternatives to items he didn't like, etc. And in a matter of 6 months, he was off his diabetic medicines. Now he's continuing the plan to keep this in control. If it was so easy, everyone would have been able to follow the rules and we would all have no health issues, isn't it? So we all know eating proteins, reducing sugar, reducing maida, having vitamins and minerals, all is good for us. We all also do it. But does that mean we all have a plan to be healthy and we all are? No, na. Doctors themselves are unable to follow it. So is it with financial planning. It needs goals, steps, discipline, review, alterations. Your investments are not financial plan. Planning is a process and output of that process is all these investments. Now, investments can be different for different people. Just because my colleague or family friend has certain stock or some bonds doesn't mean it should be a part of your investments. It's pretty much like what a doctor does in his practice. Now, when a patient comes to him for his health, he doesn't prescribe a medicine straight away. He follows a process. Understanding the patient's history, checking him, running some tests, diagnosing, and finally prescribing a treatment. And this treatment differs from patient to patient, depending on that person's body, age, maybe even gender, allergies, history, etc. So financial plan is also any decision taken regarding money. If you decide not to do anything with your money, that is also a financial plan, just not the right way to go about it. So what should you know when someone talks to you about financial planning? 7 important steps, and let me tell you in brief about this. 1. Emergency planning. The thumb rule is, do you have 9 to 12 months of your fixed monthly expenses as your emergency plan? This money could be in your savings account or even in your FDs. 2. Risk cover. Do you have a term life cover? Not money back plan, not pension, not endowment policies, but a term cover. And is it covered under MWP Act? 3. Goal planning. Whether it is education needs for your kids, whether it is medical support for your parents, whether it's a down payment for a house, whether it is to start a business, whatever be the need, you need to have different buckets for different goals. And these buckets will define what investments you should be making for which goal. 4. Retirement planning, planning for the inevitable. This means to have a written plan and numbers of how your money is going to last you till age 90, irrespective of taxes or inflation. We all know what we can do in 1 lakh today is not going to be the same 10 years down the line, right? So is there a written plan so that you know exactly where you're headed? Are there gaps? And what should you do? For example, I had someone who had a corpus of 5 crore, invested well, keeping in mind his lifestyle needs and age. The calculation showed that he would use up all his money by the time he reached 81 years of age. 5. Strategy. This is where healthy diet comes in. Just like every patient is different, everyone's strategy will be different. When we just collect a hodgepodge of investment products, there is no strategy. So many times I have heard people say, oh, when my child will go overseas for education, I'll sell that land I have and I'll be able to fund it. Really? What if you aren't able to sell it at the right moment? What if you don't get the price you're looking for? What if the taxes are huge on sale? This is not a strategy. This is luck. Strategy is when a year before the goal comes, you have the money ready and kept away safely, not to be impacted by any market or economic conditions. Number 6, annual review. And review doesn't mean seeing my capital is lying there, my money has gone up, gone down, or I made 50% profit on my Reliance shares. Review is like taking care of plants. You have to water it regularly, the correct amount, give it the right amount of sunlight, weed out, put manure. It's not a fill it, shut it, forget it outlook. Things will change in your personal life and around you. Your investment plan should change accordingly. It's like a yearly medical test we all say we need. And number 7, making a will. You don't have to wait till age 60 to make a will. You can make a simple, basic will because life is uncertain and pandemic has taught us that. A will is an important thing to protect your loved ones. It's nothing to shy away from. Hope these 7 pointers help you all. Thank you. Take care. God bless.